So folks, the toki that I was showing the construction or the crafting of in my last video is done. Here it is. Just a reminder, this is made from Obay stone. It's kind of a fuchsite quartz schist type mix of material, and it's found in the Tasman region in New Zealand. I finished the toki there. You can see the cutting surface at the front. And this is the front of the toki. I've done the binding now. And there's the cord, which will go around the neck, or my neck, on the back. You can see it's not the most dense material. So you end up with lots of these little pits in the stone, which you can see under that bright light there. The quartz pieces are much denser. And you can see the quartz gets really, really flat there, where that flat portion is, where the circle of the light is. But down in this kind of schisty, broken material where the kyanite is, it tends to be a little bit more porous, and that's where you get a little bit of undercutting and pitting. But it does polish up pretty good. I got quite a good polish on this one. It's not a mirror shine, but it's pretty good for this kind of stone. I went up to about 1200 grit for this. And it actually looks really good on that blade section there. So that is the finished toki. Now, because I live in Germany, I'm obviously have no access to any of the New Zealand-based carvers here. And I also have no access to any of the sort of New Zealand-based people who are making wearable pounamu ornaments, which is most of what is being done in New Zealand using pounamu, the nephrite and sometimes serpentine stone. But there is a really good YouTube channel I want to recommend, and it is from that YouTube channel which I've kind of learned how to do much of this, especially the bindings, and that is Campbell Carving. The YouTube channel is run by a guy, I'm assuming his name is Campbell, and I think he lives maybe in Christchurch in New Zealand, but I'm not quite sure. But he carves really nicely. As far as I can tell, he's mostly self-taught. And he only started a few years ago. He's built his own studio, and he sells really nice carved pounamu and other New Zealand stone on his website as well. So I'll link Campbell's channel below in the description of this channel, because thanks to his channel, I've been able to do a lot of what I'm able to do. Now, I don't sell my toki. I carve these purely for my own enjoyment. I wear most of the ones I carve, and I've gifted a couple to family. But that is the complete article. I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. Okay, now introducing my new project. So this is another toki I started. It is very early days. It's quite small, and it's sort of a milk bottle shape. The old milk bottle lollies at this point. This is a really interesting material, which I'll show you in a minute. It's also from the Nelson region, and I think this is a diopside, potentially grossular garnet mix. I'll explain what that means. There's the sort of thickness. It's a little bit thicker than the other one. There's the blade surface, very scratched up. I'm just going down to 240 grit, I think, at this point still. And on the back, I'm having my first attempt at trying to relief carve a koru pattern. So I've got a koru going up from the bottom and circling around there, and I've got a sort of stem line which runs up the side of the pattern like that. And this is really new for me. I've never done any relief carving before, and it's incredibly difficult to get it even. It's incredibly difficult to get inside the channel to smooth it off. It's very, very hard. And as you can see, I've gone a bit too deep at the bottom here, and I've ended up chipping out the base. I might make a feature of that. I might deliberately make that a kind of inset somehow, like a triangular inset in the blade. And obviously from a functional perspective, that would ruin the blade surface. But this is ornamental. It doesn't need to be functional. A quick look then at this stone in a little bit more detail. Just want to show off a little bit of the transparency of this material. So I'll just put a torch behind it. This is not a very powerful torch. This is not a full gem torch, but you can just see at the base there where it's really thin, some of the transparency and the sort of, translucency, I guess, of the material when it's quite thin. I'm going to turn the main light off now and it'll be a bit more obvious. So there's the stone without any sort of ambient light. I've got this LED torch, this fairly pale LED torch right behind it. And you can see the stone has some good luminosity. It's a nice emeraldy sort of yellowish green color. You can see those inclusions are blocking the light. So they're a different kind of material. But yeah, it's a really nice material. And it is incredibly hard. So the hardness, because I think it's a garnet, type of garnet, grossular garnet, it will polish really well. It's quite dense, but it is very taxing on my equipment. It destroys the diamond burrs quite quickly, so it's quite expensive for me to carve this stuff. The other, I guess, downside maybe is that this is not a stone that was traditionally carved by Māori. So, well, as far as I know, I don't know if there's much archaeological evidence of this being carved historically. So, yeah, it's definitely not pounamu. It's not considered pounamu, but it is a very, very attractive stone. And I think once I've got this down to a nice fine finish and then given it some polish, it should come up pretty glassy. That's my hope. But anyway, that's my next project. Thanks for watching, everybody. Do check out Campbell Carving's channel. It is an absolutely stunning channel if you're interested in how pounamu is carved and how these taonga are crafted. It's a really good channel. Thanks, everyone. Bye now.